Good evening, viewers. I am Raju Upadhyay from CIMAGE College, Patna, Department of IT. Today, I am going to talk about the important feature of advanced Excel. Basically, it is used in the field of financial for understanding the probability as well as simulations. That is called Monte Carlo technique, right? So, first of all, we will understand what basically the Monte Carlo technique is. We can say that Monte Carlo simulation technique are used to model the probability of different outcomes in a process that cannot be easily predicted due to the intervention of random variables. That means we can have the n number of random variable. From there, we can select any one of the value, right? That is going to be the what you can say probability. It is a kind of a technique used to understand the impact of risk and uncertainty in prediction and forecasting the models. Monte Carlo simulation can be used to tackle a range of problems in virtually every field, such as like finance, engineering, in supply chain management, as well as in the field of science, we are making use of it, right? So Monte Carlo simulation is also referred to as multiple probability simulation. That means there could be a probability of different kind of values that I'll show you in demo, right? So let us discuss what the basically Monte Carlo simulation actually is. So in the Monte Carlo simulation, this is the kind of a method of probability analysis done by running several variables through a model to determine the different outcome by using Monte Carlo simulations. So decision makers can determine the range of possibilities and their profitability or probability of occurrence. A Monte Carlo simulation works by constructing a mathematical model of a decision under certain consideration, right? Then we are going to run the Monte Carlo simulation and we find a different random variable are put into these model until there are enough outcome to plot a probability distribution curve. So let us understand how we can do this. So I'm going to share my screen to everyone to understand it in a better way. So I'm going to share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible to all now. Let's say we are having a data out here. This is the data for a company where we are having a gross profit, then production cost, marketing cost, payroll cost, and mean value I have mentioned out there, as well as some sample standard deviation value I have put out over there. And out here as a simulation, I have 500 different simulated values. You can notice out here, right? So first value we will calculate here, and based on that, we will get all 500 possibilities, right? So let us design our screen first, right? So what we can do is, first of all, we have to find out the profitability, right? Probability profit, right? So in order to do that, we have to write down some formula. So first of all, we have to find out for the simulation number one. Although I have taken out here 500 different simulations. So we will go to this cell that is called B5, where I have to find out the first simulation value, right? So we have to go over there and we have to write down certain formula, right? So here, the formula which we are going to write, that is called equal to, right? We are going to write a value, a formula is equal to, then we'll be writing a formula like norm dot inv. Within this, we have to enter some sort of random value. As we know, in order to get the random value, we have to write a function called rand, right? So this random function is going to return a value in the range of 0 to 1, right? And comma, we have to mention out here the mean value, gross mean value, as well as we have to mention their standard deviation value, right? So we have to write this formula here, and then we have to hit the enter key. So this is the first simulation value. Now, first of all, let us discuss what basically this norm.inv function. So basically the norm.inv function is a statistical function of Excel that calculates the inverse of normal cumulative distribution for a specified probability value, mean as well as standard deviation. That is why we have written out here norm.inv. INV stand for inverse of normal calculative distribution. That is why the function name itself describes their functionality, right? And then we will find out some another data over there. So we have calculated this first simulation for gross. Then similarly, we have to find out the calculation for production, marketing, and payroll. So very simply what we can do, we can just copy these formula. So we have got this formula, right? Then we have to find out the net value. So how we can get the net value? Obviously, the formula would be very simple. The cross value has to be subtracted by production, marketing, and payroll addition. So what I can do is just I can write here equal to the gross value is this, first simulated value is this, minus we have to collectively take this production, the value of production, right? So here I'll be writing the value of production is this, then plus, then the value of marketing, plus we have to get the value of payroll, and then we have to run this. So this is the net value which we have got, right? Now we are going to have the probability profit. So for that also we have to write a formula. So obviously here we are going to have the county function, but before doing this, this is our outcome which we are going to supposed to get. So there are 500 different possibilities. So what I have done is I have taken all 500 cells, and for them I have written a range name. So I am taking this only 500, and for that you can have a range name. So how do we define the range name? We can go to the formula, and within a formula we are having out here define name. So through this you can define a range name. Already I have defined the range name, that is called outcome, right? So I'll be using that. So I have just shown you how to create a range name, right? Now we are going to perform our functionality. So in the probability profit, I'll go to this place and I have formatted this particular cell. So I've taken the 5 decimal places along with the percentage, right? So you can do that by writing the format cells. So here we are going to write a function called equal to, right? I'll be writing equal to count if. That means I'm going to write a conditional function, and here I'll be writing that range, right? The range which I have selected for the outcome. So obviously for this particular outcome range, I have already created one range name called outcome. So this outcome is going to refer the cell range from J3, from the J2 to J502. So I'll select the outcome, right? And then I have to put the condition. Obviously, my condition has to be greater than 0. So within double quotes, I'll be writing greater than 0, right? And I have supposed 500 different possible values, right? So 500 different possible simulated outcome. So I'll be selecting this. I'll close this particular counting function, and then we have to divide with the number of values which I'm going to take. So obviously I'm going to assume with the 500. So I have to divide by 500. So I'll select it. We get this value. Now we have to find out the minimum out of it. So in order to get the minimum, we are having a function out here. Let's say again I'll write here a function for all. I'll be writing a function equal to min, right? And I'm trying to find out all minimum value against all 500 possible values, right? So here I'll write outcome because that 500 value range named as outcome. And then I'll be taking maximum value by writing equal to max. And again, from that range, I'll select that range as named as outcome, right? And then we have to find out the min. So in order to get the mean, I can make use of average function. So I've taken out here average function, and from there, I'll be writing again outcome, right? So right now, since my range is not having any value, so that is why it's keep on showing 0, 0, 0. Now we have to find out the standard deviation. That is very important. So obviously, standard deviation, we are having a formula called STD dot S, right? Although we are having a two different kind of formula, STD dot D, STD dot S. So this STD dot S function is a function of standard deviation. So what basically this does? So basically, this standard deviation function based on the sample. Obviously, I have taken the 500 sample out here. And a standard deviation is a measure of how widely values are dispersed from the average value, that is called mean, right? So a standard deviation assumes that its arguments are sample of the population, that is a 500 value which I have. If your data represent the entire population, then compute the standard deviation using STDV dot P, right? So here I'm going to make use of STDV dot S function because I'm going to take the sample value. So obviously for that, the function is going to be STDV dot S, and within that, all possible values I'm going to write here. So at this moment, it is giving the error mean and deviation because there is no value available. So now we are going to do some sort of calculation, right? Now, in order to perform everything, that means Monte Carlo technique says that you have to perform some activities, right? So what we can do is we can go for data from the menu bar. Within a data, we are having what if analysis group. Within a what if analysis group, we are having called data table, right? So I'll select the data table from here. Now, within this particular, okay, before that, we have to perform one task, right? What we have to do is we have to select this entire range. This is very important because in this particular range, we are going to get the value. So this is very important. Before that, after doing that only, we can go for analysis. So I'll select all 500 cells. So let us take this all 500 cells, right? And now we have to perform our work. So I'll go to the top of the screen. So we have selected all. And after selecting this, I'll go for data. Then within the what if analysis, we are having data table. And after data table, we get this kind of value. Obviously, row input cell is not there. That is why I don't require it. We have to depend on column input cell. So you can take any cell as a column input cell. So I can click somewhere else. And then what we can do is just you can see the net profit for the first simulation. The same kind of thing we have to repeat for all 500 different simulations. So what we have to do is in the first outcome, we have to select this number. So what I can do is I can follow this net profit, right? So I'll be writing equal to and this net. Right? This is very important. Okay, hit the enter key, we are getting the value. The moment you are going to get the value, entire data is getting changed, right? So first of all, we need to select the outcome. So again, I can repeat it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this all data, right? The formatting issue was there. So what we can do is we have to select this net value over there in the outcome. So I'll write equal to net, right? I'll select this. Once we have got the value, once we have got this particular value, so for that, what we have to do is we have to highlight all. And after highlighting this, then we have to go to data. Then we have to go to what if analysis. And within this, we are having a data table. And since row input is not there, so I'll go for the column input. I'll click somewhere else. And then if we click on OK, entire data is getting calculated over there. Now from this entire data, we are getting this minimum value. That is a negative value. Maximum value, we are getting 97. And the mean which we have got this. And this is the standard deviation. So already we have put the formula over there and we are getting everything collected out here. Now, everything I wanted to present it graphically. So that is also possible, right? So in order to get it graphically, so we can go to the home, and within the home, we can go to the insert, and within insert, this is the chart section. And there is a recommended chart. I'll click on this recommended chart. We are going to get this particular recommended chart from there. So whatever chart you want, you can get the chart from there. So let's say if I go for this particular chart, we can select it, right? And after selecting this, we can click on OK to insert this particular chart within the window, right? So this way, if I click on OK, we are going to get the chart like this. So we are having a maximum value, minimum standard deviation, all things are being calculated. If you change the value, automatically your chart will be changed. So friends, this was all about your Monte Carlo simulation. So with the help of the Monte Carlo simulations, we can create n number of simulation, and each and every simulation is going to give certain outcome, which is the probable value. So it's not the real value, it's a kind of a virtual value through which we can do some sort of data analysis with the system. Thanks for watching this particular video. I'll be coming with another video in next time. Once again, thanks for watching this video.